and a preview what's to come in the next major update. Owners of the Age of Empires 4 players on Steam are invited to join for the public preview, and this is starting tomorrow. There's nothing really else in here. Oh, I guess this might interest for you, some of you people. For this preview, we ask that you focus on utilizing in-house mods during custom matches and playing the game you normally would. There's going to be directions on downloading mods, so that means we're going to have mods to test as well, which I will test that out for sure. And then this kind of goes over when it starts, which is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is 2 p.m. my time. Obviously, I can't stream that early. I work. And then this kind of goes over how to go over it. So let's go over this first part. Creating mods. So this is only select people. Select Age Insiders have been sent a Steam key to access the Age of Empires 4 content editor. So we should get more information on this tomorrow. If you get it by email, you'll use it to download the content editor and you'll be able to use it. I did not get in it. And if I did, though, I would be actually kind of interested to see what it is. The known issue. This will go over the known issues, which I don't think there's much. This is just a custom mod. Content creator displays unresponsive while saving mods. Tuning pack incorrectly called attribute mod in same menus. And then terrain layout generates mirrored maps. Okay, interesting. That'll be fixed by release, I'm sure. Yes, I agree. It's going to be fantastic when we get mods. So, there's going to be some in-house mods. Oh, really, Elmo? That sucks. So there's going to be some in-house mods. Royal Rumble, which is... Dude, what's wrong with my mouse? I'm going to blow my mouse real quick. Alright. So, Royal Rumble is a be the last king standing. Achieve victory by eliminating all enemy kings while defending your own, based on the classic regicide mode in Age of Empires 2. That's pretty cool for those who played that. You start with a king, you have to keep him alive. This will, by the way, 100% be in tournaments at some point. Anami, you haven't missed much, I promise. I literally am just starting. This is the very beginning. So... This is a fun mode. I actually think it's a really cool concept, and I guarantee tournaments are going to use this in the future. Tombolos, Welcome to Paradise. This map features multiple islands connected by narrow sand... Dude, what is my thing doing? By narrow sand tombolos. I don't know what that is. I'm going to be completely honest. It's a two-player map. Britain and Ireland. Fight for regency over the British Isles. The map features a landmass that resembles Britain, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. The Indian subcontinent, battle over South Asia. The Gulch, you ever wonder why you're here? This map features a box canyon surrounded by walls on all sides. Supports up to 4 players. And then thick wood. That's a lot of wood. Doubles the amount of wood available in trees. Mr. Vipey, this is the big patch coming out. The big spring patch. This is a preview that was released. And by the way, this is going to be out tomorrow, just so you know. The public beta is out tomorrow. Double villagers. The peasants are revolt. I mean multiplying. Train 2 villagers at the same time for the cost of 1. And then the last one, dire wolves. The wolves are hungry and out for blood. All wolves have increased damage, hit points, and size. This map just sounds like a disaster. Not a disaster, but this sounds like an annoying map. Definitely wouldn't enjoy that one. So that's the good stuff. So we have the mods, content editor. You know, we got some really cool stuff coming back. So now comes some more exciting stuff. And there's some big changes in here. Like I said, I skimmed through this part. So this is the balance log. Here's their goals. Tighten the win rates and preparations for our first ranked season. Encourage earlier conflict on the map with deer patches. Which, by the way, wait till you see the change to this. Improve the feel of moving naval units and increase strategic options through more effective retreats. Which makes to me sound like maybe not having as many river maps. That'd be nice. Can someone pass the link? Yeah, make sure you log into Steam first. And yeah, that's probably true, Terralad. Increase risk and counter... Oh, I think I went over that. Ensure Civ unique units stand out instead of being niche counters. I don't know how to say that correctly. You guys can all make fun of me if you wish. Make dynasty bonuses more useful for the period of the game in which they are unlocked, and then create more compelling decisions around landmark picks. Niche. That's right. I'm already logged in and still won't let me see it. I'm not sure why that is. I can do that after we go over this though. All right, so the core units, and this I already like these changes. Field construction build time of Springald increased from 30 to 80 seconds. The same for Mangonel from 40 to 80 seconds. So this is going to be a nerf to Mongols and Abbasid, but it's greatly needed. This is a great change. Field construction build time for the traction trebuchet is also going to 80 seconds. Scout hunting bow reload time reduced from 2 to 1. The melee weapon cooldown is reduced from 4 to 2. And then the melee weapon damage is reduced from 4 to 2. So the scout's going to attack faster, but it's going to be weaker. So I think in theory it should be the same. Every 2 seconds it does 4 damage instead of every 2 seconds it does. Every 1 second it'll do 2 damage. So it's the same thing really. Economy. Yeah. So the scout's going to do the same actually in the same amount of time, but in ways you can get away. Yeah. Anyway, so villager hunted meat carry capacity increased from 10 to 25. That means deer are going to be much more encouraged to take. Survival techniques is just removed. I think, right? Hunted meat. Oh, the carry capacity bonus is removed. And then the survival techniques hunted is increased from 10% to 15, and then survival techniques research time reduced from 75 to 45 seconds. Okay, sorry about that. You might hear my dog bark. I apologize for that in the future. All right. So wait, so when does this come out? The public version of this comes out tomorrow. If you have this game on Steam, you can play it tomorrow. Naval. Improve the responsiveness of small and medium ships. Aero ships no longer fire while moving. This is fantastic. Extended lines research time reduced from 75 to 45 seconds. I'm not sure what that is. So these are probably upgrades that I never get. So I don't really know, but I'll say them anyway. Drift nets, same thing to 45 seconds. The galley population is reduced from 4 to 3 population. Junk from 4 to 2. Don't know how to say this, is from 6 to 5. And then the attack ship ranged armor reduced by 1 except for the French Hulk. The Springald weapon damage increased from 50 to 70. The attack speed reduced from 3.2 to 3.7. Warship formation spacing spreading from 4.5 to 3. I don't know how to say this. You guys can make fun of me, by the way. Balkan weapon range reduced from 9 to 8 tiles. And then Naval Navigators no longer gives +1 weapon range. Increased sight range improvement from 1 to 4 tiles. Biochad. That's what it should be called. All right, Naval Bug Fixes. Yeah, and by the way, Roos's water got completely butchered in this. Just FYI. Wait till we get to that. Hey, Blade, where'd you go to school? University of Can't Read. America. All right, updated the selection area for all fishing deposits to match the visual. This resolves issues where deep sea fish become harder to select as the resource was depleted. The galley, dough, and junk help text. Okay, nothing, just text updates. All right, so core building updates. Buildings under construction receive 50% more damage. This is huge when you think about it. That keep is going to take 50% more damage when they're building it. So if you're hitting it with siege, that's going to kill it a lot quicker. I think that's a great change. The keep build time has increased from 120 to 140 seconds. The stone wall tower build time has increased from 60 to 90 seconds. Boiling oil has been increased to 500 gold and 200 stone. Hey, what's up, Darius? Boiling oil research time to 90 seconds. I don't know what this is. I think this is the speed upgrade, right? Greaseold axle. Oh, yeah. The movement speed for siege is reduced from 20 to 15%. Geometry moved from the university to the siege workshop. I don't know what the geometry is. It's going to be its own private server core, so it's not going to be on the public game. Oh, thanks, Yosemite. Yeah, you shouldn't have been timed out for 12 minutes for that. Um, Anyway, we'll go on. I'll discuss that later. Geometry resource cost reduced from 300 wood, 700 gold to 100 wood, 225 gold. Geometry research time to 45 seconds. Geometry was taught in middle school. Like, what the fuck? Hey, okay, fun fact, guys. I failed geometry twice in school. Math is not my strong suit. I'm actually, like, borderline stupid when it comes to math. Unless it's basic math. But geometry is, like, too complex for me. Is Blade purposely saying Yosemite wrong? No. I'm just stupid with names. Yosemite, Yosemite. I'm very bad at pronunciations. Which is ironic, considering how much I read. Let's see. Siege Works moved from the Siege Workshop to the University, which is removed completely from the Chinese astronomical clock tower. Siege Works resource costs increased from 150 wood, 350 gold, to 300 wood, 700 gold. I don't even know what some of these are. I don't know the names of these. That's a funny. Yosemite. Ah, that makes sense. I'm gonna forget, and I apologize in advance. Maybe I'll just say his last name, Sam. We're gonna call you Sam from now on, so I don't mess it up. Siege Works research time to 90 seconds. Siege Works for Delhi is increased from 900 to 1350 seconds. You are so humble, person. I don't know if I'm that humble. All right, and then the Tith Barns. Yeah, there's no L. Now correctly provides 30 stone per minute instead of 15. Is that the monastery upgrade? Maybe the biggest streamer on Twitch? Unlikely. Alright, so now for civilization-specific ones. So these are the exciting ones. These are the ones we really want to read about. Yosemite. Yosemite. Alright. Camel Archer. How can you actually play this then? So it's not on the official server? It's going to be on, like I said, a private server. So on Steam, you'll have an ability to choose a beta branch, and that's how you'll play it. Chance of Stonewalls being moved to Castle. 0% chance considering it hasn't been done in these patch notes. Alright, Camel Archer move speed increased from 6.5 to 6.75. Their Archer bonus damage versus Spearman reduced from 3 to 2. Camel Archer 2, which is just, I think it's the upgrade, I think it's their veteran status, 10 to 12, 3, 12 to 14, Imperial, 14 to 15. Camel Riders, their damage increased from 9 to 14. I think that's pretty big, because 9 is like nothing. 14's, I think, a pretty big one. I'm not entirely sure, though. I haven't used Camel Riders very often, so I don't exactly know how big of a change that actually is, but it sounds like a big one to me. The bonus damage versus cavalry is reduced from 18 to 14, so that kind of negates that, but that's fine. Camel Riders already crushed cavalry. And then bonus damage, oh yeah, it's 20 to 16 in Imperial. Camel Barding now only affects Camel Riders, no longer affects the Camel Archer. I think that's the speed upgrade, right? And yes, the damage, don't get me wrong, that damage increase is fantastic for the Camel Riders. It makes it more viable against other units. I don't know what Camel Barding is. I might look it up. Okay, it's the arm. Oh, that's the armor. Okay. So let's move from the blacksmith to the stables, and the cost is 100 food, 225 gold now, instead of 300 food, 700 gold. That's a good change. That's actually affordable now. And then camel boarding research time reduced from 90 to 45 seconds. Or barding, sorry, not boarding. Let's see, what's the damage Camel Archer does? Same damage in Dark Age, but it's increased to 12. How many shots of a spear is that since it only does 2x? Is that 4 or 5 shots now? I feel like they're not going to be as good against spearmen now. So the Camel Archer horsemen that we've been seeing might not be viable after the patch. Economic wing changes. Agriculture costs reduced from 200 wood, 500 gold to 75 wood, 200 gold. And then the research time was reduced from 90 to 45 seconds. This is going live tomorrow at 2 p.m. my time, which is approximately, what's 19 hours from now. 19 hours from now is when this will be live. Grand Bazaar moved from Imperial Age to Feudal Age. I think this is the infantry upgrade, unless I'm mistaken. It's reduced from 300 food, 700 gold to 50 food, 125 gold. 60 seconds to research. Oh, that's not what it is? This is the secondary resource from trading. Ah. Oh, it says trade wing up here, by the way. I should have known this. If I can just learn to read, guys. I know. I should learn to read. Alright, Spice Roads moved from feudal to Imperial Age. What's the Spice Roads one? Is that the one that gives you 30% more gold? Okay, I thought so. Increase from 100 wood, 250 gold to 300 wood, 700 gold, so typical one. Alright, now we got the military wing changes. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. You know what's funny is you know how I'm like, whatever level I'm at right now, top 100 or whatever, and I don't know like half the research upgrade names, I just click on them. That's what I do. Boot camp requirement reduced from imperial to feudal. Okay, this is the infantry one, I'm pretty sure. That gives 15% more to infantry. 50 food, 125, 60 seconds. And I believe that only affects... I'm not sure what that affects. Like, I know it affects infantry, but is that just spearmen, or does this include men-at-arms as well? I feel like that, because in Age of Empires 2, I don't think men-at-arms were considered infantry, but I could be wrong. Oh, that was weird. It affects archers too. Okay, that'll be pretty nice. Camel support requirements increased from feudal age to imperial. Gives 2 armor instead of 1. Obviously, it's going to the typical 300 food, 700 gold, and 90-second research time. So it's like getting double university tech. Okay, interesting. So that'll be a huge change, I feel like. If it affects archers and everything. Is this a new patch? Yes, this is. Here. You have to log into Steam before you can actually read the notes, just FYI. So be sure to do that. Faith no longer can convert naval units. I didn't even know it could. This is I learned something new. Calamari has a better one, by the way. Converted Abbasid villagers will correctly have their build menu updated to match their new allegiance. I like the way it says that. The Golden Age production speed bonus now properly applies to all production buildings and not only military production buildings. Really? So does that mean Abbasid makes villagers faster too? With the Golden Age? That seems like a pretty big deal if that's the case. If it's not just military buildings and it's every production building, that's pretty huge. But if it's only tier 3, then maybe that's not a big deal. But if it's all tiers, that would be crazy. It's just tier 3? Okay, so then I changed my mind. This isn't a big deal. I never get tier 3. It's so rare. Camel Archer bow is no longer invisible after upgrading incendiary arrows. And then composite bows displays... So it's a 33% attack speed increase instead of 25%. So it's actually more than what they say. That's interesting. There's a tier 3 for... Abbasid, yeah, the Golden Age 3. Improved processing now applies to town centers. Hey, Drumson, we are looking at the patch notes coming out tomorrow for the test server for Age of Empires 4. Oh. Bagley. Trolling me. Alright, now we're on to the Chinese. The stone wall tower build time is increased to 120 seconds. Okay, no surprise there. I wonder what that actually is, though, with China, since they build things faster. Ancient techniques cost increased from 150 wood, 300 gold to 200 wood, 500 gold. You know, I'm gonna just... I have another tab open. I can just look these up, because I don't know what some of these are, and that makes me... Dude, can I not search on this? Alright, whatever. I'll rely on you guys, chat. I don't know the name of it. So whatever that one is, it's the 200 wood, 500 gold. Oh, it's the work rate? Okay. Ancient techniques to 90 seconds. Barbican of the Sun sight range increased to match the outpost now. Thank you, Terralad, by the way. Couldn't you invest 1,000 wood into houses and get Golden Age 3? Potentially, probably. It's a lot of wood, though. Depends on how the game's going. Imperial Spy's ability from the Imperial Palace landmark now reveals villagers, traders, trade ships, fishing ships, and officials. Interesting. So you can... I mean, it doesn't seem like that big of a change, honestly. You kind of know when your opponent's on water. For trading, that might be thing if you're curious, but I don't personally think that's a big change at all. That just seems kind of like, okay, that's there. But I don't think that's going to change much. Dynasty Changes. Dynasty units and buildings are no longer gated when advanced to the next dynasty. That's a good change, I think. Because I think, unless I'm mistaken, China would lose the previous dynasty bonuses when they went to new ones. The Yuan dynasty movement speed bonus no longer applies to siege. Good change. Village requirements reduced from Song dynasty to Tang dynasty. The village cost is increased to 125 wood, but now it's 1500 health. Granary requirements. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's a resource update. But it's from the Yuan dynasty to Song dynasty. Village harvest bonus reduced from 15 to 10%. The granary health is to 1500. The pagoda requirement reduced from Ming dynasty to Yuan dynasty. And it's reduced from 100 gold, food, and wood and stone to 100 gold, 50 wood, 50 stone, 50 food. You know, I just said those in the wrong order, and I'm reading this. Man, how do I do that? But it's the same, other than 100 gold. Official changes. Supervised production and research speed reduced from 200% to 150. Official train time increased to 30 seconds. And the... Oh, wow. They increased the cost of the official from 150 food, 150 food to 100 food and 50 gold. Interesting. I wonder why they did that. That seems like an interesting change. Men-at-Arms train time reduced from... Oh, this is English, by the way, so now we're on to the lovely English. Men-at-Arms train time reduced from 22 to 15 seconds. That seems actually pretty good. You can definitely start spamming out that. I mean, that's a pretty big increase when you think about it. That's 7 seconds faster. Vanguard man-at-arms increased from 2 to 3. Is the Vanguard... Is that the feudal age one? Or is this the castle? I think that's feudal, right? I'm pretty sure that's feudal. Oh, that's Dark Age. Wow, so they're increasing the armor to 3 in the Dark Age, so they're really trying to push men-at-arms to be viable. Okay. That's interesting. That could be big, I'm not sure. That could also be really bad. Hey, Calamari, you want to give, I'm not going to say that name, Mad his link? But this could either be big or non-consequential. We'll find out. The Abbey of Kings healing rate is increased from 4 to 6 health and 1 second instead of 1.5. And then starting wood increased from 150 to 2. So that's interesting that English is getting 50 more wood, which could actually be that could make it much easier to make a barracks. So like I said, they're trying to make Dark Age men-at-arms viable in some way. I will definitely be messing with that when this patch comes out. I think this will be very interesting to test out to see if it changes anything at all. And then setup camp can no longer be triggered while in combat. I didn't know that it could, to be honest. Have you heard Marine Lord ranking Abbasid 2? No, I have not. Abbey of Memes. Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, now we're on to the French. Hey, Wavine. Yes, this is notes for the new update. I should have just updated the title, I think. Essentially, there's a public update going on in a private server that anyone on Steam can play tomorrow, and these are the patch notes for it. Only for Steam users. Just FYI. And Calamari's linking the images. Alright. The Pavis, which is the French crossbowman, now increases the armor by +5 instead of setting the armor to 5. So this is going to be huge, I think, because that's going to... I'm curious how strong those I'm not going to say the name because I don't know how to say it. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Fixed a bug with the French tree where traders were displayed in the Dark Age under Chamber of Commerce. I didn't even know that was a bug, or I didn't even know that was a thing. Military Siege Engineer UI now matches other civilizations. Okay. Royal Knight help text updated. Okay, yeah. So those are just bug fixes there. Yeah, our Blitz might be OP after this. We'll see. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll see. It's too early to say. Oh, so now you're skipping words you don't know how to pronounce? That's what I should be doing, honestly. But all right, well, that's it for French. They actually got nothing else changed. That's absolutely it. All right, so Holy Roman Empire. The Regnix Cathedral is relic capacity is going from 3 to 2. Honestly, I still think this is going to be super, super good. Like 600 gold a minute off only two relics is still insanely powerful. Like as an HRE player, going 2 relics and not getting 3 never felt that bad to me. I still feel like this is going to be super strong. Hopefully it's not, I mean, obviously not as strong as it is now, but we'll see if it's enough. I still think it might be OP, personally. Burgave Palace now produces infantry 400% faster instead of training unit in batches. So in the stream, they said that this also increases research time. So like tech. So I don't know if they might have changed that, but I'm going to assume that they just forgot to add it here. If that's the case, it goes 400% faster, which means you'll be able to spam units at an incredible pace and upgrades. The Minework Palace research discount increased from 25 to 30%. The research speed is increased to 30%, not by 30%. Or wait, is there a research speed increase on the Minework Palace or no? I don't actually know. But if not, it now speeds the research time by 30%. Okay, so this is a pretty good. This could be really good then. 30% off and 30% faster. That seems pretty strong. The Palace of Swabia villager production speed and discount reduced from 75% to 66%. That's such a small change. I really think this needs a bigger nerf to some degree. At least make it cost as much as a normal Imperial upgrade. I don't know why. Like 66% is still insane. That's not really a big nerf in my opinion. I still think this landmark's going to be broken. Inspired Warriors effect duration increased from 30 to 60 seconds. Yeah, exactly. You guys are in agreement with me, it seems. Marching drills cost reduced from 100 food 250 gold to 50 food 125 gold. That's going to make HRE's feudal play much stronger, I feel like. That's really cheap. And they're also making the upgrade time 60 seconds. That's going to... Wait, marching drill affects prelates? Oh, yeah, next line. Marching drills now affects prelates. As if the prelates need to be faster. Those things are already faster. This is a bad... This should be removed. Prelates do not need a speed buff. They're already too fast in my opinion as it is. Because if a prelate gets a... If a prelate gets a relic, you cannot catch it with anything but a horseman or a knight. Like, you can't use it with any ground... There's no ground unit that catches it. Maybe archers can too. This is a bad change. I don't know why they're buffing prelates even more. That is not needed. Yeah, I agree with you, Black Veggie. That's how I feel a little bit. Like, I feel like HRE, honestly, I think HRE might be top 2, top 3 after this patch at this rate. If they're not already. And then they added a prelate indicator for HRE. Apologies, guys. Let me mute it so you don't hear it. Okay, sorry about that. The prelate indicator for HRE players to be able to move easily, locate. Yeah, actually, so this is a nice change. There's a little icon at the bottom left, and you'll be able to find it that way. Yeah, I think HRE is going to be like the next the Civ that everyone complains about. HRE is going to be way too strong after this patch. It's okay because it's not Roos. Dude, Roos is Roos. I think Roos might move to the worst Civ in the game soon. Here's a long list of bug fixes. You think HRE is being held back by Delian Abbasid? I feel like, I guess maybe in general, because I was just say I think HRE versus Abbasid is I like that as an HRE player personally. Oh wait, what? Oh, you're right. There's Mongol changes in here. Okay, thanks for letting me know, Maxim. Or who told me that? Maximus. Yeah, Abbas is going to be super strong too. Okay, so by placing relics in docks, it is no longer possible to surpass the maximum 25% attack speed bonus. Okay, the Akin Chapel or range indicator has been updated to use the correct gold color. The Great Palace of Flensburg Wonder can now properly make use of the influence and emergency repair ability. Interesting that they didn't fix it for the Regnants, unless that's intentional. Docks can now properly make use of influence and emergency repair ability. Keeps no longer grant a springhold when a unit is garrisoned, and the springhold emplacement is not researched. I did not know that was a bug. That's I'm learning new things every day. Thank you, Calamari. You are free to spam that link as much as you need to. Relics placed inside of docks no longer increase the attack speed of all players' ships. Oh, okay. So here's Mongol changes. Textiles has been added to the town center available, or improved textiles has been added to the town center available in Castle Age. It increases the health of villagers by 50. That's it, I guess. Now that's just Mongol bug fixes. So Mongols isn't really being changed in this patch, which may be okay. Improved biology now only provides plus 10% health instead of 15% for a total of 30% instead of 35%. Fixed a bug where Mongols improved barns did not list the correct resource income. Fixed a bug where the Mongol Tith barns research time was 80 seconds instead of the intended 60. It also gives the proper 30, 30, 30 to food, wood, and stone. That's correct, Ender Starcraft. Map editor and everything. Fixed a... Yeah, Mista, here you go. Sorry, guys. My dog does not like the washing machine. Alright, the Khaganate Palace now produces Mangadai in 90 seconds instead of 77. I mean, I didn't even know it made Mangadai. I don't even know what that is. Is that the free unit generator that Mongols never uses as their landmark? The Imp landmark? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. The Mongol landmark town center can now be packed while at maximum population. I didn't know you couldn't before. Stone Commerce help text updated. The Con Defense Air Tool updated to show correct bonus of +2. That's it for Mongols. So Mongols is not really changing. If you play Mongols right now, you're actually getting a buff, no nerfs. But it's only for villager health. They didn't even say how much that cost, did they? I wonder how much that costs. But yeah, that's not really... So Mongols is going to be the same. And now we go to Rus. Rus has been butchered, I'd say. I think Rus are going to be awful. So they nerfed a landmark no one ever made. Yeah, that's exactly right. The Warrior Monk weapon range increased from 1.15 to 3. That's actually a huge increase, though. That Warrior Monk is going to be able to, cut you from across the map at this point. The Warrior Monk charge weapon is also increased to 3. And wow, I just realized you're right. They don't have any Delhi nerfs in this patch. Holy shit. Man, they got to get working on Delhi, I guess. Maybe they'll add it before they release the patch. Actually release it. Horse Archer precision technology is reduced from 2 to 1. So they no longer have that insane range. They did? Did I? Oh, increased siege works. Terrorlad, you troll. Horse Archer precision to 60 seconds research time, and then Streltsy double time ability no longer quickens their static deployment ability. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that's a real much of a nerf to Streltsy. Hut, my Horse Archers again. And now, watch how they've butchered their... Rus is gonna suck on water now, I think. The Lodya fishing ship. Population cost increased from 1 to 2. Cost increased from 75 to 150 wood. That means Rus cannot get a ship out for, a lot later than other ships. That's actually insane when you think about that. Their train time is increased to 38 seconds. Their health is increased to 250. And they do get a... Oh, man. Sorry, guys. The deep water fish gather rate is increased from 1 to pretty much 2. It's probably a good idea, Maximus, but I'll do it after this. So pretty much they gather fish almost twice as fast, but not quite. And then shoreline they gather at 1.19. So they almost gather fish twice as fast. So maybe that negates the cost increase. So maybe it's not as bad as we think. But I do feel like overall this is a bad change still. I think this is going to... I feel like this is going to hurt Rus water play a little too much, but we'll see. I might be completely wrong. Because, I mean, they are gathering at twice the rate, but you also have to gather twice the wood. So by the time you get one fishing ship out, your opponent's going to already have to and been gathering. So I think that's the problem. We'll see. This may not be as bad as it looks on paper. In my eyes, this looks kind of bad. And that's correct, B-Dod. This is getting double-range fishing ships for twice the cost. Like, it doesn't sound... I'm not sure. Like, it seems bad, but it also might not be. The only reason I think it seems bad is because your opponent's going to be gathering fish before you for quite a while. I don't know how long it takes for a normal fishing ship. I'm assuming 25 seconds. So... this may not be as bad as it looks, and it actually may be a buff. Who knows? We'll find out. We will find out. I just feel like it may not as well. But in general, I mean, Rus water did need to be nerfed. And then they changed the Golden Gate trade buttons to match the markets. That's gonna mess with me a little bit. Yeah, no, and Black Veggie, I do think that needed to be changed too. So this might be like a completely fine change, and I might be thinking it's bad, but it may not be. Hard to say without actually testing it. It's a huge nerf to their obviously converting to attack ships, though, and that is true. The Golden Gate trade buttons, yep. Golden Gate no longer shares double-click selection with markets. I didn't even know it did. That's something new. Lodi ships now have correct upgrades applied after conversion. Fixed a bug with Rus Tech Tree where Abiatrini didn't display all of its unique techs. And then destroyed High Trade House no longer produces deer until repaired. Didn't even know it did that either. Yeah, well now the thing is, yeah, I got to get used to those hotkeys. Like, it's a good change. This is definitely needed to be done. I just have to get used to the new hotkeys now because I think I sell food a lot because of it. Haven't used a market with Rus after water maps rotated out. Yeah, I only use the Golden Gate for the most part. Other bug fixes. Rams can no longer target naval units. I only learned about this a few weeks ago, by the way. That you could do this. I mean, it's fine. Repairability now shows the correct requirements when attempting to use it on an enemy player. The Delhi Sultanate Tech Tree now lists honed blades under Imperial Age instead of Castle Age. Wait, honed blades? That's the +4 for Men-at-Arms, right? That seems like a... Did they move it to Imperial and I missed it? That seems like a nerf that they didn't mention in the patch notes. Interesting. But then again, this probably isn't the full patch notes, so I'm guessing it'll probably show up in the future patch. The Delhi Sultanate Tech Tree now lists slow-burning defenses under Imperial Age instead of Castle Age. The English setup capability now is the correct requirement text. Field construction trebuchets now have correct tooltip. The compound of the defender effect is no longer active while the landmark is destroyed. Okay, didn't know that was a thing anyway. Alright, now we got the map changes. And by the way, we have a cool map coming in that I actually am excited for. I do hope it's in the ranked map pool, because I think it's going to be really fun. I'll give you some details for those who have not played Age of Empires 2 and played on the map. Alright, so resource spawn tuning. Yeah, it's mega random. I'm actually really excited for that. The micro map size resource balancing has received a pass with the goal of improving the distribution of resources between players. On open maps like Lipany and Dry Arabia, this has meant objects like relics, gold deposits, and stone deposits are now spawning in a tighter band for each player. I'm pretty sure that means just closer so that they're not as far. Because sometimes you could get it where the gold mine is like way far away. Do you think High Trade House is viable now with deer gathering buff? Yes. I mean, I think it's viable now even without that buff, to be honest, B-Dod. The only reason, like, I think it's probably better to get the trade house in a lot of situations as Rus and just make it a monastery. Unless you're like, versus Abbasid, I don't think so. Did I come from AOE2? I started playing AOE2 competitively in March of last year, but I'd consider myself more of a StarCraft 2 player than a AOE 2 player. I was at a much higher level in StarCraft than I was in Age of Empires 2. Anyway, so we are... Where was I on this? We're only... Okay, I'm just going to start over a little bit. Are now spawning in a tighter band for each player to cut down on cases where one resource node would spawn considerably further away for one player than for the other. We're always tweaking and looking to improve this, so keep sending us screenshots and map seeds when you feel things are generated unfairly. On divided maps like Mountain Pass and Mongolian Heights, now there's actually a big change here with relics on some of these maps. We have done additional custom tuning for several maps to help ensure that the dividing geography does not separate one player from their resource deposits. For example, both players' large gold deposits spawning on the same side of the mountain range on Mountain Pass. I don't care, but we don't care about the reason. I don't feel like reading all that. But this set of tuning has been done on Danube River? Boulder Bay, Confluence, Mountain Pass, Mongolian Heights, and Nagari have all received tuning in that regard. Relics now spawn in a more balanced configuration. 1 accessible relic per player. 3 centrally contested relics. This updated balance logic has been applied globally to all map sizes and tuned specifically for several maps on the micro 1v1 maps. Additional tuning for divided maps at larger sizes will be coming in a later update. Relics have been tuned to spawn further away from each other. Divided maps that have had custom tuning and will spawn 1 accessible relic and 2 contested relics per side of the map for a total of 6 relics. So that means maps are now going to have 6 relics on like Mountain Pass and whatever else consists of that. This was done to ensure that maps in which terrain gives natural ownership to one player don't have a built-in imbalance due to the nature of spawning an odd number of contestable objects. The maps that include these relic changes are Confluence, Mountain Pass, Mongolian Heights, and Nagari. So these 4 maps are going to have 6 relics on the map from now on. Imagine being the player that gets all 6 relics. 600 gold instead of 5 a minute. HRE, even more buffs. What was it? Yeah, Beastilico 2. I don't think they're killing off all the randomness, Elmo. I think they're just making it a little bit more fair, which I do think was needed. But yeah, so there's 6 relics on those 4 maps. Small gold and stone deposits have had their contested spawn range tightened. 1 contested small gold and stone will now spawn per player, up from only 1 overall, with less likelihood that it will spawn too close to a single player. Sacred sites have had their spawn parameters narrowed to help them spawn evenly across the center of the map on maps where their locations are not being specifically placed by the map script. Don't think there's much to go over on that one. That's probably just to make sure it's, especially since they don't bug out. And now we have the map-specific changes. I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to skip a couple of these that I don't care about, but we'll go over a couple. Like Nagari. Mountain ranges have been shortened slightly to provide a more consistent central lake and mountain configuration. Yeah, I'll read the King of the Hill one, don't worry. I'm just not going to do Black Forest or Boulder Bay. I don't care. I mean, I guess I should do Boulder Bay. But I'm not doing Black Forest. Deep water fish have been removed from the side ponds and concentrated in the central lake. That is an awful change. I think this is a horrible change. This was to both remove instances of unbalanced amount of safe fish and ensure that the most valuable fish are located in this contested part of the map. So, pretty much making that central lake required, which is also going to screw balance on this map. So this map is going to be very, very favored versus whoever's strongest on water when that happens. I don't know what that'll be. Delhi. Actually, this is going to be great for Delhi since they have fishing ships that attack. And that hasn't been touched at all. So that's going to be a joy. Relic count has been increased to spawn a base of 4 relics plus 1 per player to better ensure fairness, which you just read. Resource spawning for 1v1 microsites have had custom tuning down on resource deposits. Not too much else to go on that one. Black Forest, you guys can read this one if you want on your own. I will dodge this map forever if it ever shows up in 1v1. You don't get it? How come Delhi are so OP right now? I can go over that if you remind me after I go over this. I guess Sacred Sites are back on Black Forest. Okay. Oh no, you can, Darius. You can dodge on ranked. At least right now. At least you could in the beta. Boulder Bay. We have updated the forest distribution to include more smaller forests as opposed to fewer larger forests. I guess that's an okay change. We've updated the fish distribution to be more even. We're also working to provide a more robust solution for balance of deep water fish in the near future. So it sounds like deep sea fish might still be broken on that. Yeah, they're not adding map bans in ranked. Not yet, anyway. We've adjusted gold distribution in 1v1s to be spawned more evenly between players, and then fixed a spawn issue where players can spawn on the wrong side of the bay on larger team games. Endless user, I don't play half these maps. Yeah, neither do I, to be honest. Alright, Danube River. Large gold deposits have been rebalanced to be more evenly between teams. We've changed the central crossing to a stone bridge. We've able to... that doesn't sound right grammatically. We've able to add bridges to maps, and the central stone bridge was added to Danube River to help break up naval dominance. Oh, so that means... Oh, interesting. That's actually a huge change. That means, yeah, you can't just go all the way around anymore from water. Interesting. So that I actually like that change. I think that's a good change. That should really help. Yeah, I think I like that change. I think that makes the map better. Players who seek control of the water will now need to build ships on both of their half of the rivers as well as their opponent's half. I wonder if it does it to, I wonder if it's just the spawns, or is it also the side spawn that you can get in, or so if it's all three, which I'm guessing it is. So that I actually think that makes this map a lot better, at least in my head. I actually like that change. And then to fix an issue where in larger games teammates could spawn on the wrong side of the river. I'm assuming it's all three as well. So that should be interesting. Mountain Pass. Sacred sites have been given a buffer of flat terrain to ensure they spawn correctly. Resources in 1v1 have been balanced to more equally spawn resources on each side of the mountain. I still hate this map. An additional small gold and stone have been added for ensuring that we can generate maps with fair distribution. And then a map script fix that was leading to the mountain range, giving one player slightly more area on their side of the map. Okay, so they make it so that one player doesn't get more area than the other. Yeah, Mountain Pass is still a shit map. Don't like it, don't care. Confluence is the same way. You know what, screw it. We're going to go through the rest. I don't care. We've updated gold spawns to be more fairly distributed for players in 1v1. Adjusted the crossings. Now a ford will spawn on each arm of the river near an edge of the map and near the central confluence point. A stone bridge will spawn on each arm of the river. This should help reduce water supremacy and make moving land armies through the map much shorter. Still going to be a shit map. Rivers and confluence have also been straightened out in order to make the center of the map more consistent and predictable. The sacred sites will be placed around the confluence of the river, one in each quadrant near the bridge crossings. We found the previous version of the map. Sacred sites could be placed anywhere along the rivers in each quadrant, felt unfocused, and could lead to a more scattered map flow. This change, along with the bridge, will give the map a tighter flow and limit the dominance of powerful ships that previously could have full control of the map. I still hate this map. No, I don't think they could change this map to make me like it. And no, boats cannot go through stone bridges. Ancient Spires. Removed deep water fish that would spawn in 1v1 matches. So it says errant deep water fish. Does that mean they'll still spawn, or are they removing it completely? Not sure. Instead of making myself sound stupid. Okay, no, so they're not removing it. We've adjusted trade post spawns to ensure that they do not spawn on isolated islands created by lakes at the side of the map. This should help ensure that both trade posts are available for players to trade with. Yeah, this doesn't really say what change that means. So how much are we gonna? How many deep sea is gonna be there, or are they just getting it? Or are they removing it completely? If they remove it completely, I mean, I don't care. Ancient Spires isn't that great of a map anyway. Altai, we fixed rare instances of sacred sites not spawning. I think we've all seen that. And we fixed rare cases of players spawning too close to the side mountain ranges and stomping out things like sacred sites and trade posts. In ranked beta, it was removed. Oh, okay, I didn't know that, Snoopa. Okay, so it is removed. Endless user. N4C map pool, make it the ranked map pool. I 100% agree. Mongolian Heights. Number of relics increased to 4 base plus 1. Oh, this is, yeah, they've already went over this. 3 on each side. Number of contested resources adjusted to spawning an even amount, so that it's obviously fair. Fix an indexing error that resulted in the river giving one side of a map more space. Space between sheep herds was increased to cut down the instance of 5 plus sheep spawning together. Okay, interesting. And then adjusted the spawning of cliffs to ensure that each player is given a flat path from their start position to the river. Okay, makes sense. Black veggie. Rare instance, you mean like every other game? Yeah. Hill and Dale, we've tuned down wolf spawns from 2 per sacred site to 1. They tuned down the starting forest to not be able to close off a full ramp to the player's plateau. That's a good change. I always hated that. Players will now get 1 regular forest and a smaller forest on their little area. Overhauled how the plateaus spawn to provide a more consistent experience. The size will now be the same for both players, and team sizes will no longer be very disproportional. I think I said that correctly. I'm proud of myself. All right. King of the Hill. Now this isn't it. I can't remember what this one was. We've done an overhaul to the King of the Hill map to ensure that generations are more consistent. We previously saw that some players could spawn with very little TC or wood to their TC. I think we all know that one. We also saw many instances of the gold and stone being distributed on the hill unfairly. We've taken out a bunch of the more unspecific aspects of the randomness of these parameters. On new generations, you should now see hill generation to be fair between both players. Pathways up the hill are now based directly on player spawns, with players getting a straight shot access to the top of the hill. Large gold and stone locations are mirrored on the hill to provide equal access to contested resources. Removed all random forests on the map. Okay, I'm like trying to think what that means. A dense perimeter forest was added that rings the entire. Okay, this is why. Was added that rings the entire map. I'm guessing kind of like that one map's. Yeah, Black Veggie. Yeah, like our AOE2 arena. That's exactly what I was thinking about. I just couldn't remember the name. The goal of forests on King of the Hill was only to balance fighting for central gold and stone with the necessity of maintaining a presence on the outer parts of the map for wood and food. But we are seeing many instances where wood access between players could be incredibly unbalanced. This change should ensure that all players have access to ample wood on the map edges. I think that's a really good change. I actually am very curious how King of the Hill is going to play out now and how far that wood is. There's a couple maps that were like that in AoE 2. I'm very interested. This should be really interesting. I should add that command, Fatal Owl, and I will. But if Calamari's still here, I'm sure he would gratefully give you the link for the images if you don't have a Steam login. This is a good change. I actually like it, though. Tiralad has also linked it, so that's just pictures of it, so you don't have to log into Steam. All right, they've added two maps. Mega Random, which is a fun map. I'm very, very excited for this map. I think it'll be fun anyway. Unless it's an island map, then that's going to suck. But when it's a non-island map, this map should be good. As the name implies, it has the ability to spawn in an enormous number of different configurations. We've created a huge number of random parameters that Mega Random can choose from when generating, such as whether to spawn lakes and rivers, which types of impasses used to generate terrain, if any, whether to spawn extra amounts of some resources, incorporate special terrain patterns, and much more. So, just to give you guys some examples of what I saw in Age of Empires 2, and I didn't like Mega Random in Age of Empires 2 very much, just because of how walling worked and how some mechanics worked in that game. But I'm really excited for Age of Empires 4 version. So in Age of Empires 2, what I really liked about Mega Random is you could have a map where... So I had a map spawn on Mega Random that there was 30 relics on the map. And then there was 2 things of gold, which is like 600 gold, spread across the map. So you needed relics to get gold, like it was a necessity. If you didn't get relics, you wouldn't have gold income, pretty much. It was, I thought, a really cool thing. And it's just one of the many things that happened. I only had that once out of the many times I played that map. There was a map spawn where there was only deer, no sheep, no berries. You had to get deer for food or go to farms. So I'm hoping they have similar things on this one, because I think it does provide a really fun experience for I mean, for competitive and casual play alike, it can just be really fun. Obviously, things can be imbalanced, and who knows how that'll go. I think you can play Regicide on any map type in AOE2, right? I believe so, yes. So anyway, I'm actually very excited for Mega Random. This could be really, really fun. And then they added a crafted map, Valley Battle. And I have no idea if Mega Random will be on ranked. I personally hope it is, but maybe it won't be. Who knows? So as an example for what a crafted map may look like, we're creating the Age of Empires 4 content editor beta. We have added a map called Valley Battle to the crafted maps tab. This map was created to be a balanced, mostly symmetrical map that has a bit of everything. Large battles, blah, blah, blah. And resources that are exactly balanced across two halves of the map. Sounds like Mongolian Heights, to be honest. And then that's it. Those are all the changes coming into that we are aware of for the spring update. I'm going to bet there's more spring update that they haven't added to this, but as of right now, this is all of it. While I'm here, I'm going to go to my Nightbot so we can add a patch command for you guys. Patch, and I just need to copy Turlad's link. There we go. So now, if we do patch, there we go. So that is the list of the patch notes. I'll add that in the title. Patch. Okay. So, this is the first time I've done one of these, by the way. I don't know how you guys liked it. Feedback on it would be nice. I'll probably put this on YouTube as well so that people can give their feedback on how I did it. And probably not as smooth as some other streamers or as nice, but whatever. What are my thoughts on this patch overall, though? Personally, I do think this is a good patch. Did they nerf Mongols again? No. Mongols actually got a buff, technically. Hella sick, don't skip stuff next time. I only skipped Black Forest, I think. Oh yeah, towers being built do take 50% more damage. Anyway, just to go on to what I was thinking of. I do think, in general, I think this is a good patch. Some are going to be, questionable. Like, I think HRE's patch notes, I feel like HRE is going to be a little too strong in the next patch. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of OP HRE complaints. Overall, though, I do like a lot of the changes. I think the meta is going to change a lot. At least that's how I'm feeling like. And I'm very interested to see how it plays out. Just making sure there's nothing else to really talk about. Obviously, I'm super excited for the map editor. That's going to be good for the game for everybody. Again, casuals and pros alike, because we'll have better user-generated maps. And then, yeah. I'm really excited for that. That's going to be really good. Obviously, ranked mode coming out is going to be good. And then, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But I'm mostly excited for most of the changes. I'm disappointed there's no Delhi nerfs noted in the patch. Delhi needs a nerf pretty badly, in my opinion. And then, obviously, I think HRE is going to be too good. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, well, let's exit this now. Let's remove the screen capture because I don't use that. I kind of tired my voice out, not going to lie. All right, well, I guess let's go do another game or two. Civic.